All right, picking up on number 17. So again, we're looking at our graph here. We have x plus y equals 0, which is this guy right here. And we have 3x minus y equals 2 is this one. So they intersect to me, it looks like about there. I don't know if they're counting by 1 or 2. Oh, we just have to say how many solutions. Well, it intersects once, so it's just one solution, and that's A. All right. Number 18. We have two equations. What's the value for y? So we're going to solve this for y. We're going to use substitution. So I'm going to take, because it says x equals 5y minus 1, I'm going to take that and put him right where the other x is in the other equation. So 2 times 5y minus 1 plus 5y equals negative 32. So I have this equation, and again, the goal when you're using substitution is to write one equation with one variable. And we're going to distribute. And then we are going to combine like terms, which looks like 15y minus 2 equals negative 32. Add 2 to both sides. And when I divide by 15, I get y equals negative 2. And it only asks for the y value, so we are done. If it asks us for where they intersect, we'd have to plug y back into this original equation, the x equals equation, and we get what? Negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11 if they ask. But they're not asking, so we're not going to worry about it. All right. And when this says use elimination, I don't care what method you use, but we will use elimination here. So, yeah, we can see that. I'm going to write the first one on top, 3x plus 5y equals 16, and 8x minus 5y equals 28. So I have these. The good news is the y values have the same coefficient. That means that I can, and we say same sign subtract. These are different signs on the y's. So we're going to add these two, and 8 and 3 is 11x, and 16 and 28 is 38, and 6 is what? 44. That makes me feel good. Divide by 11, and x equals 4. So I have to plug that back into one of these two equations to get y. Looks like the first one might be a little easier. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 5y equals 16. I'm going to subtract 12. I'm going to get 5y equals 4. When I divide by 5, I get y equals 4/5. So here's my ordered pair. All right, let's move on to the next page. Elimination again. This time, though, we don't have any matching pairs. 4x, 8x, 7y, 5y. But we can easily make the top equation have an x value, an x coefficient of 8 by multiplying everything by 2. I'm going to write that, since they gave me room, I'm going to write that right here. 8x plus 14y equals negative 28. Now these have the same sign, the 8x's do, so I'm going to subtract the two equations. 14 minus 5y is 9y. And let's see, negative 28 minus 8 is negative 36. So y equals negative 4. I divided both sides by 9. I'm going to plug it back into probably the first one again because it's the numbers. Yeah, actually, I'm going to plug it into this one. So 8x plus, actually, it's going to be a minus. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20 equals 8. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. Yeah, that's right. And 8x equals 28. Divide by 8. And let's see, divided by 2 is half of 20 is 10, half of 8 is 4, so 14 fourths. Divide by 2 again, 7 halves is what we're looking for. Oh, and that's just the x. X equals. So we got to plug them back in. Oh, I already got that. I already had the y, didn't I? Yep, y is negative 4. X is 7 halves. Substitution on this one. This is a good candidate for substitution because I can easily solve this first equation for x by adding 2y to both sides. So x equals 1 plus 2y. Anywhere I see an x in the other equation, I'm going to put that. So 6 times 1 plus 2y minus 5y equals 20. Distribute. All right. Combine your like terms. 12 minus 5 is 7. So let me see, 7y, and I'm going to subtract 6 right now, 2 equals 14, and y equals 2. Plug it into the x equals equation. If I plug it into here, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So x equals 5, so that's 5, 2 for my answer on that one. All right. Remember, on a multiple choice test, if you really are worried, you can plug all 4 answers into the 2 equations. If it makes both true, you got it right. All right, your teacher is giving a test that has 12 more 3-point questions than 5-point questions. Okay, the test is worth 100 points. Which system represents this information? So, we say your teacher is giving a test that has 12 more 3-point, so has 12 more 3-point questions than 5. So the 5-point question, F, I'm doing this because I want to make sure I don't screw this up here. So F has 12 more than the 3, right? Which is F minus T equals 12. So it could be C or D, but we got to make sure we have it matched up. So, and then we know that there are 3T plus 5F equals 100. Okay, so it should be F minus T equals 12 and 3T plus 5F equals 100. And again, I just want to make sure that when I make this subtraction, F is my 5-point question. So to me, it looks like it is D, because the X is first, X minus Y, or the 5-point minus the 3-point, and then that means this is X is the 5-point and Y is the 3-point. So it is D. That one can be a little tricky. You really got to be good with your variables there. All right, number, what are we on? 23. So graphing inequalities. We did a few of these on the last page. Again, it looks like they're counting by 2s. We can't be sure because they don't tell us, but they got to be counting by 2s here. So let's, or maybe not. Yeah, one of them should go through the origin, and then the minus 2 would be there. So let's see. Let's count them off again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm labeling these quadrats, and I'm just going to ask myself, because I think they're all the same, negative 3x, negative 1/2 x, minus 2. Yep. So we just have to decide, and to me it looks like 3 is the darkest shaded region. So that means we just got to see which of these shades that way. So if I look at the negative 3x, so that is the guy that goes to the origin, and he's greater than or equal to. So in this one, greater than or equal to means shade above. So that's 2 and 3. And then we're less than the negative 1/2, which is this guy. Less than is 3 and 4. Oh, that works out nice because that's the first one we get. So the answer is F. Remember, so here's our dotted line. Less than means below the y-intercept, which is 4 and 3. And the exact opposite here. We're greater than or equal to, so solid line. And then greater than means above the y-intercept, so that's 2 and 3. They share 3, so we found the answer right away. All right, what is the solution to the system of inequalities? It's any solution that ends up in this darkest region. So 0, 2 looks to be on that dotted line, so that is going to be a no-go. 1, 1, that looks good, but I want to test to make sure they're counting by 1. 0, 0 is definitely a no, and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 is definitely out of there too. So yes, 1, 1 does fall in, and the trick they have here is the 0, 2, which is right on the dotted line, which is not a solution. Dotted line means it's not included. So I believe we said 1, 1. C is the answer for that one. All right, what system of inequalities is represented? I'm assuming they mean, oh yeah, 25. Yep. So we got to look here. And it looks like they're counting by 1. So I know my solid line is negative x plus 1. Actually, no. Let's see. Maybe they're counting by 2s. All right. So I guess we'll just have to do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's the same? Yep. All right. So we'll start with F. So the positive line is the dashed line, and it says less than, so that's sections 3 and 2. And then negative x plus 1 is the solid line here, and that's less than as well. which is 4 and 3. So this would mean 3 was the overlap, and 3 is not the darkest section, so we're not F. Greater than is of the dashed line is 1 and 4. So right away, I know it's not that because we're above, we're not in 2, we're just 1 and 4, so it's not G. So it could be H, and it's actually no, it could not be H because this is the same thing, so it's got to be J. And we can test it just for everybody. So less than the dashed line is 3 and 2, and greater than the negative solid line is 1 and 2. 2 is the overlap, so we shade in 2. All right, let's take a look at the next page. All right. Solve and graph the systems of equations. So I guess we're going to solve them for y, so they're easier to graph. Oh, no, we're going to actually solve it, sorry. And I'm going to use substitution, so I'm going to put him there. So x plus 2 times 3x plus 3 equals negative 1. Distribute. X plus 6x plus 6 equals negative 1. 7x minus 6 equals negative 7, so x equals negative 1. I'm going to put him into the y equals equation, and that's negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so y equals 0. So that's where we should get when we graph them. So plus 3, 1, 2, 3 with a slope of 3 is here, and hopefully intersect there. And then I could do intercepts here. So the x-intercept is negative 1, which is right there, and the y-intercept is negative 1/2, which is there, and there's that, and that proves our solution. All right. How much time do I got? Okay. So Color Time bakers want to make 30 pounds of berry mix that costs $3 per pound to use in their pancake mix. They are using blueberries that cost $2 per pound and blackberries that cost $3.50 per pound. How many pounds of blackberries should be used in this mixture? So we're making 30 pounds of a berry mix that costs $3 per pound. All right. So what we want to do here, I think I can fit it on here, is we know that, hopefully that helps, we know that we're making 30 pounds of two substances. So that's the easy equation, x plus y equals 30. And then we got to have our money equation. This requires a little bit of work because we're going to do $2 for the x mixture and $3.50 for the y mixture. And we're making 30 pounds that costs $3.50 per pound, and 30 times 3.5 is 105. Okay. Now, depending on how you want to do this problem, I think elimination is good. How many pounds of the blackberry mixture? Blackberries cost $3.50 per pound. So I'm going to eliminate the x's, and that'll give me the y equations because blackberries is our y. And so I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply everything by 2, and that makes 30, 60. Okay. And when I subtract these, I'm going to get negative $1.50 y equals 45, negative. And I'm going to divide 45 by $1.50, and that gives me 30. So y equals 30. And that is J, 30 pounds. That does not make any sense. Ouch, kabibbles. Let's see. What did I do wrong? The reason it doesn't make sense is because we're making 30 pounds of this, and we're not going to mix all of one and none of the other. So let me take a look here, see what I did wrong. All right, I got it. So right here, I said it was $3.50 per pound. The new mixture is only $3 per pound. That changes that to 90. Okay, when I make that subtraction, that's 30. And when I divide by 150, I'm getting 20. So it's not J, it is G. All right, sorry about that. And this will be the last problem in this video. Okay, and we'll start up on number 28 in the next one. Thank you.